Welcome, everybody, to tonight's Health and Hope. My name is Ryan Bettle. I'm an independent certified Optavia coach. I've been a client for almost 5 years and been coaching for about four and a half. This October will be my 5 year coach anniversary. So I've been doing this for a while, and it's been a wonderful journey. Tonight you're going to hear a few different stories of health and hope, and hear other people's experiences with Optavia, how not only it helped them lose weight, but the other changes that it led to as well. We'll discuss all different components of the program. We will discuss cost. We'll discuss the different varieties and versions of the program. And then at the end, maybe we'll answer some questions as well. Okay. So the first thing I would like to do, let's see if I can change my slide here. All right. I want you to ask yourself a question. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish? Why do you want to accomplish this? When do you want to accomplish this by? When you reach this particular goal, how will it make you feel? And what is one thing right now that you would be more confident doing if you achieved that goal? I think these are some important questions. Once you get really clear on why you want something, why you want to change a current state or condition that you're in, then the how becomes less important. When your why is strong enough, your how becomes less important. A lot of the people you're going to hear tonight, talk about their experience, had strong reasons why they wanted to do this. They had pain points that drove them to the change, which you will hear about in a little bit. So start thinking about that. What are your reasons why? So first, I would like to invite Lori Keister to come off mute. Lori is, like me, she is a teacher, and she saw her coach posting online and reached out to her because she wanted to make some changes. So, Lori, would you like to come off mute, please? Share a little bit of your
Sure. Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Mhm. Yep.
All right. So my name is Lori. Like Ryan said, I'm a teacher in Midwest. I teach second grade. I have two daughters. One just started her freshman year of college, and the other one is in her senior year of college. So I started the program. Tara is my coach. So I had seen Tara share a little bit about her journey, and I had gotten to a place where, as you can see in the picture, I was not healthy. And I felt miserable, joint pain, just was basically at my wit's end and needed to do something. So I reached out to Tara and wanted to learn a little bit about what she had done. I started the program on December 28th of 2022. I was 219 pounds. And like I said, felt miserable. Within 2 weeks, I could not believe the difference just in how I felt. I was walking my kids to music class one day and thought, oh my gosh, it doesn't hurt to walk down the hallway with them. And it changed my life. I lost a total of 79 pounds in 8 months. So August 30th of 2023 is when I met my goal. I hit 140 pounds, so quite a change from what I was used to. Like I said, my joint pain was gone almost right away, and I had been taking two rheumatoid arthritis medicines, neither of which I need anymore, which is huge. I went on a Europe trip with my daughter that just graduated from high school this summer, and never could have done that had I not lost the weight. And before I went on the trip, I didn't realize that. And on the trip, it was such a blessing because that was something I really wanted to do with her. And had I not lost the weight, I wouldn't have been able to keep up. We walked, I think it was 81 miles on that trip, in about 2.5 weeks. So no way could I have done it with my prior self. I've had the opportunity to help my other daughter, the one that's a senior in college, get healthier, and my husband, as well as some friends. And it's huge to be able to help somebody else get their health back. When that's not something that you have, it means a lot. So that's a little bit about my story.
Thank you so much, Lori, for sharing. And that's a
Sure.
just a beautiful transformation. And she's so right. Like paying it forward after you get healthy, it's very humbling to know that because you said yes to your health, that it often leads to several other people choosing to do the same. So you might ask, who does this work for? Who can be an Optavia client? Well, there's a lot of different types of people that we could help. And here's a list. Men and women, those with type 1 or type 2 diabetes, nursing moms, those with PCOS, those with Crohn's disease, those with thyroid disease, lupus, athletes, teenagers, elderly, gluten intolerant people, vegetarians, people with high blood pressure, people with 10 pounds to lose, people who need to lose 100 plus pounds, and many more. Um, it is not a one size fits all approach. We take and meet people where they are and try to appropriately place them on the version of the program that'll help them meet their goals. Um, that is part of what we do as coaches is we listen, we ask questions, and then we try to guide you the very best that we can to help you reach your goals. So this really can be for anybody. Next up, I have two friends of mine who followed me for a long time. And after the first time I talked to them, was right before they found out they were having their second baby. So that put their journey on hold a little bit. And after their second daughter was born, they reached back out to me and decided that they were ready. So without any, you could see their beautiful transformations here. Without any further ado, I'll have Greg and Jackie come off mute.
Hi, I'm Jackie, and
I'm Greg.
I'll speak for the both of us because I do all the talking. Anyways, so Greg, I struggled with my weight most of my adult life. Always unhealthy dieting or the latest diet fad. After I had Kylie, before I had Kylie, I was on the keto diet. And so I got pregnant, I could no longer be on the keto diet, and I gained a massive, like 70 plus pounds back while I was pregnant with Kylie. After Kylie was born, although I wasn't comfortable with my weight or my health, I was kind of comfortable with the idea of just thinking to myself, well, I just had a baby, so that's why I'm fat or whatever the case may be. And I was just getting to the point where I was admitting to myself how miserable I was when we first met Ryan. Greg's like, hey, do you want to talk to him? I'm like, sure. And then, of course, as you guys know, I got pregnant with Adelie. And I told him all through my pregnancy, like, I want to get healthy after Adelie. My body struggled so bad, joints, um, but my body pretty much is in bad shape after having Adelie and being so unfit. So I had her, and I kept to it. I said to Greg, I was like, all right, it's time. Um, because I'm so tired of hurting. And Greg too, he was diagnosed with diverticuli, and he had a bad case of diverticulosis. He was on omeprazole every single day. Feet always hurting. There was always complaints between the two of us. There was not a lack of complaints. And then we started. Greg has met his goal. He's lost about 60 pounds. Now he's in maintenance, and he has taken it very seriously. He's definitely a motivation upon that for me. He gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. I don't know very many people who are that motivated. Um, but he's keeping it because this is what it's about. It's about not just a diet, it's about something we can get behind because I'm not selling a product, I'm telling you how to better your health and to take charge of it. I'm still going. I still got a little bit yet to go. But I've lost about 60 pounds as well. So that's our story. Like Greg even saw his pictures yesterday. He's like, wow, I was fat. Like he pretty much just did it for me. Like we just did it together because we excel in things when we do it together. And he realized like, what his bad diet did to him as well.
The one thing I will chip in and say, getting out of bed in the morning used to hurt. The feet hitting the floor, it was constant pins and needles. With the diverticulitis, I had to watch everything I ate, watch just how much of it, and I don't have any of it. I get up in the morning and I literally spring out of bed. Going to the gym feels great. It's nothing that's like slowing you down. You get up and before it hurt to bend over and tie your shoes, and now you're like sprinting to the car to go to the gym. It's something different.
Super proud of you guys, and thank you so much for sharing your journey with everybody. It is inspiring indeed. And I'll just say that Greg was a student of mine when I first started teaching at Mifflinburg. So I think he was a 10th grader when I first met him. So yeah, these two follow things to a T. Awesome clients and now coaches. So there are four components to Optavia. The dietary component, which was developed at Johns Hopkins Medical Center, which gives it legitimacy. Like that's like one of the best hospitals in the country. And the dietary component was originally designed to help diabetics stabilize their blood sugar so they could predictably lose weight. So it's beyond safe and good for you. But it is only a tool. There are a lot of tools. There are a lot of tools that you could use to get healthy. But what makes Optavia special is that you have a coach who knows the way so they could show you the way. Many of whom have been through a version of the program so they can guide you empathetically through it. We have a systematic process to help you change your habits called the Habits of Health, developed by Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. And we have a beautiful community of like-minded people who are going after us. One second, I have to mute this. Okay. That's why sometimes when people come on late, I have to hit the mute button. But anyway, let me digress. So Dr. Anderson developed the Habits of Health system, and then the community aspect of it is something that I didn't anticipate being something that I would want to participate in. But when they say that the people that you spend your most time with rub off on you in either a positive or a negative way. And our community, both online and in person, have led me to friendships that I didn't know that I needed. And something, not everybody has to become great friends with the people who are doing program or the people who are on our Facebook page, but you can be inspired from them. You can learn from them. They can add value to your experience and help you get to your goal. So these, the coach, the Habits of Health system, and the community, plus the nutritional component is what makes Optavia special. The people who have bad experiences with Optavia and sometimes gain their weight back, and you could find negative reviews if you go out and search for them. Those are the people who more than likely only did the program as a diet, and they had some level of success and then gained their weight back because they didn't allow themselves to be coached. They didn't learn the habits of health, and they didn't participate in the community. Do all these things. That's how you get to lifelong change. One healthy habit at a time. So what does it look like? The dietary component, what does it look like? Well, our most popular plan is called the 5-in-1 plan. That has the most predictable, fastest results. We achieved the weight loss dietarily. I lost all 106 pounds, not by working out. I did it by following the 5-in-1 plan. You either lose fat by peeing it out or sweating it out. Okay. I lost 106 pounds in 8 months by peeing it out, by being in a slow and gentle fat burn that the 5-in-1 gets you in. Fuelings are mini meals, 90 to 120 calories, vitamin enriched and fortified, macronutritionally balanced very similarly. Okay. 5 fuelings or mini meals per day that the company provides for you that you eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. And then you have one meal on in your day that you make for yourself called the Lean and Green meal. And you don't need to know everything about that right now. Your coach, should you ever decide to do the program, will teach you everything you need to know and make you confident and comfortable in everything that you're doing in regards to the Lean and Green meal. So you're eating 6 times a day. If you're up for 17, 18 hours a day, you're going to be eating 6 times divided by the time that you're awake. And this stabilizes your blood sugar so you're no longer having those dips and spikes. And you couple that with proper hydration and you feel satisfied and you feel good. It's the only way that me, who used to probably consume 4,000 calories a day, was able to do the program for 8 months and not feel like jumping off a bridge, because I felt without. I never felt without. The 5-in-1 plan is just one of our plans. As I told you before, there are more plans to meet the needs of people who have different goals. These are 5 of them. 5-in-1, obviously, we have 5-in-1 active for people who exercise and don't want to give up their exercise. We have a 4-in-2 active plan for people who do heavier exercise, who do like heavy weight training or like CrossFit type workouts, who still want to lose weight. We have the Optavia 3-in-3 active plan. And then we have the Optavia MSWL, that stands for medically supported weight loss. So we have a program that's geared to help people who are on medically supported weight loss shots. So there are millions of Americans, if they're not already taking, medically supported weight loss shots, that are going to choose to do so. Those medications aren't going anywhere, and they're not a bad thing. They're a tool, just like our 5-in-1 plan is a tool. Those shots, if given proper coaching, nutrition, and habit development, can be an effective tool to help them reach their goal. And we're not going to turn those people away, but they need a certain type of guidance that we've been trained to help them to utilize those tools more effectively. People who are given the shots by their doctors and aren't given any guidance are being set up for failure. They need help that goes beyond just injecting yourself. So I'm just saying. So now I would like to bring on my good friend and client and coach, Tara Moyer, who's had an inspiring journey of her own.
Hey guys, thanks Ryan. So yes, so my journey, first of all, I am a coach with Optavia. I have been coaching for nearly 4 years. My journey started this month 4 years ago, where I followed in the footsteps of my husband, who followed in Ryan's footsteps. My husband was struggling. Same kind of story with Jackie and her husband. Like we did it together, but he started it first. Lost 130 pounds on this program in about 6 months' time. And when I saw what he was doing and how well it was working, I was like, yep, I wanna do this. I want to do this too. I want to feel good like he's feeling. And I tell people, every time my thing has always been pleasingly plump from the time that I was a little girl. Just always carried a little bit of extra weight. So I have a job. I carry mail. I walk about 10 miles every single day. So you can imagine carrying extra weight around with me every single day, doing that job, coming home at night. I would be miserable. I felt awful. I would come home and be tired. I didn't feel like doing anything when I got home from work. They tell you, you have to go to the gym, you have to go work out. I certainly did not feel like going to the gym after doing my job all day long. So, I would come home, I would get up the next morning, everything hurt, getting out of bed, my ankles, my knees, everything. I also suffered with high blood pressure. I also suffered with acid reflux, all the things that come along with carrying the extra weight around. So when I started this program, I set a goal to lose 40 pounds. I thought, okay, 40 pounds will be good. It'll get me to a good weight where I feel comfortable. Well, my goal was surpassed and I doubled that and I lost 80 pounds on the program because I got to my goal and I knew that I could keep going and I felt really good about it. Like Lori said, you know, I would wake up in the morning and just feel good. Like I could go to my job and not be hurting and feel good. And that was within a couple weeks time of being on the program. Um, and then I had a procedure done about a month into my program. And when I came out of anesthesia, my blood pressure was really, really low, like pretty scarily low. And they couldn't get it to come back up. Well, I was still taking my blood pressure medication. So I went to see my family doctor after that, and she said, your blood pressure is like low. It's like amazing. So that was it within only a few weeks of being on the program, off the blood pressure medication. Acid reflux gone. Just overall health within weeks of, you know, not even seeing close to what my goal weight was, but already being healthy. And that's motivation in itself to every day just continue doing the program. So 80 pounds, 130 pounds, 210 pounds combined between my husband and I. And very, very easily, people were saying, what are you guys doing? Like, we were inspiring people. And that's what this is about. It's fun to look at the people on this Zoom and see like Ryan and the ripple effect to me and the ripple effect to Lori and, you know, all the people underneath, because that's what happens. Like, this program is just, you have to share it and people want to know. And so that's what we're doing. We want to share it with all of you, and hopefully you will, well, not hopefully, you will feel better and you will see your goal with the help of this coach, your coach, and the community, and just everything about this program. So thank you for letting me share.
Awesome, Tara. Thank you so much. I always love hearing your story. It doesn't get old. Um, so I'll briefly, here's my transformation. Um, I struggled when I started my teaching career. I'm a high school teacher. When I started teaching and when I moved in by myself, I was like 215, 220 pounds in my first year teaching, cooking for myself. I ballooned to like 245, 250. And then when I got married, I yo-yoed between 255 and 285. And I used to, when I get on the high side of my weight, I would exercise 30 or 40 pounds off and I would just go back and forth. I lived that yo-yo life, usually doing routines like P90X or, coupling Weight Watchers with the gym for a little while. But that, that I got tired. Life would get in the way from being able to continue that. And I never, ever finished it. And then I had a health scare in a year after I herniated a disc in my back doing like high intensity interval workouts, trying to at 300 pounds. Turns out that's not a good thing for your body to be doing workouts like that at over 300 pounds. I herniated a disc in my back and I couldn't exercise. And I got into a very dark and depressed place. And I had a health scare that if I didn't go to the hospital, I could have had my doctor told me I could have had a stroke if I didn't go to the emergency room that night. And literally the week before all this happened, Optavia was put right at my feet. I talked about it on the Facebook Live tonight. My aunt introduced me to it a week before I had my health scare. And the program saved my life. I recognized my reason why. I was at a wedding. I was at a wedding that summer for my cousin whose dad died of a heart attack at age 44 right in front of them on Father's Day while he was making pancakes for them. And I was 43 at that time. And my aunt told me, if you don't do something, you're going to end up like Uncle John. And he was a framed photo at my cousin's wedding. I didn't want to be a frame. I have two teenagers and I have an adult daughter. I did not want to be a framed photo at their wedding. I was ready. And I found that, and I don't believe in coincidences. This was put at my feet and when I was ready to commit and change. So we don't chase people to do this. You have to be ready to do it. But when you're ready, we follow through. And this is a relational thing, not a transactional one. So like when you get a coach, they're going to care about you and help you get to your goal. This is not just signing up and slinging diet food on people. This is real change, and this is relationship. So how much does it cost? Okay, to get a health coach who works for you and cares about you, to implement the Habits of Health system, to be a part of our community, and then getting the dietary component. Right now, until the end of August, you can get the program for your first 2 months at a much reduced expense. It's going to cost a little over $10 a day. Now, when I started 5 years ago, it was $417.50. And I was not in a good financial place at that point in time at all. We didn't have the money. My wife said, if I need you here, she's like, when Allie needed braces, we figured it out and paid for it. We didn't know how we were going to do it, but we figured it out. She's like, when Jake needed intensive vision therapy because his eyes did not track things, we had to pay $700 a month for 6 months out of pocket because insurance didn't cover it. I don't know how we did that. She's like, listen, we figured that out. I need you here. If you do this, commit. And I'm like, I will. I need to. And I did. So the fact that in this economy that you could get it for like $100 less to start is just mind-boggling to me. That everything else has gone up in price, but Optavia hasn't. Now listen to this. I'll say this with conviction. I believe that it was worth every penny that I invested in it in the first month that I did it. I lost 30 pounds in my first month. And then the cost was not a concern to me anymore because I believed that it was going to work. And in fact, I believe that the cost is a beneficial thing because when people invest in themselves, they tend not to sell themselves short because they don't want to waste the money. The investment ends up being a positive thing and not a negative thing. How many people have memberships to Planet Fitness and pay $28, $30 a month and they see it once a month? When the commitment's not really there, you tend not to use it. But if you're investing in yourself, doing something like this, you tend to follow through a whole heck of a lot more. And it's not like a brand new car payment, right? It's a payment that you make until you reach your goal. And it's not a brand new payment because you were spending money on food and swiping your card at Dunkin' Donut and Sheetz and Turkey Hill and wherever the vending machines, wherever the heck else you swipe your card and nickel and dime it. That's money that you'd be spending on Optavia instead. So I was very conservative with my money because I didn't have a lot of it. I'm just going to be completely honest. So for me, who didn't have a lot of money and didn't spend a lot of money, the program ended up being for me after I ran all my previous month's bills on my web banking. It ended up being about $50 more per month to be on program at that point in time than what I was already spending at all those other places. Best flipping $50 investment I ever made in my entire life. And how my breakthrough has led to over 1,000 people's lives being changed is amazing. So that's the deal with cost. Yes, it is a commitment, but a commitment's not a bad thing. Commitment's a good thing when you're ready to change. So, so a plan for your life. We have this gives us a little more information about if you want to take a screenshot, these are our different plans: the 5-in-1 plan, the 5-in-1 active, the 4-in-2 active, the 3-in-3, and then the MSWL kit. Your coaches will help you figure out which one is the best for you when they talk to you. So, what is your health worth? What is your reason why? Are your pain points strong enough that you're ready? Because for me, mine were. But I promise you, if you talk to a coach, they will not try to convince you to do this because it doesn't work like that. What needs to happen is you need to be ready, and then we'll be ready to support you. So please know that if you hop on a phone call with a coach, they're not going to try to persuade you or use sales techniques to convince you. What they're going to do is ask you a question to see if you have a need that they could potentially help you solve. And that is how we help people get results, because that's the way we operate. We're just different. And the program is just different. So I hope you enjoyed our little presentation. I'm going to stop the recording. And then if anybody would like to ask any questions, we'll stay on.